Hi guys, this video is going to be a little bit different because we're going to put electric cars to the test. And when I mean a test, the ultimate test. We're taking this Tesla Model 3 long range all the way to Germany. And yes, we are driving over 12 hours to see how this thing does. And how often are we going to charge? Stay tuned to see more. First things first, before we do anything, buy in road trip snacks. We've got the goods. We are starting the trip out with 92% battery, and it's going to take us about 3.5 hours to get down to Folkestone and 206 miles, and we should get there with 28% battery. There's meant to be Tesla superchargers down at the Eurotunnel, so praying they are in order and working as they should, and hopefully England side of this journey shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully.
We're starting off in the East Midlands, close to Nottingham, and working our way down to the Eurotunnel in Folkestone. The Tesla is starting with 92% and 331 miles of range. Whilst this part of the journey is 206 miles, we should have plenty left. Now the Tesla map predicts that we'll have 125 miles and 20% left over.
Well, typical British fashion, we're hitting traffic on the M1, but at least we're doing it in comfort. That is the nice thing with a Tesla, is when you think of an EV, most times you do think of the Tesla. And with the Model 3 being one of the very first ones they came out with, it made perfect sense to use this car for the trip. Now, even in traffic, I must admit, this is when the autopilot comes into its own, because you can sit back and relax a lot more than you could say in a manual. The car just does what it does, and you can just, I don't know, take a little bit of the pressure off. Now we have got charging times to make for the Eurotunnel, so wish us luck.
Over 4.5 hours later, we have arrived at the Eurotunnel with 100 miles and 28% range left, which is actually 25 miles less than Tesla Maps predicted, but 8% more. Makes sense. Now, there was ample Tesla chargers as we arrived, so we plugged in and went off to grab some food. We charged for a total of 32 minutes, starting with 100 miles and 28%. And ending with 320 miles and 89%. Plenty, as now we're jumping onto the train to get us over to Calais. We made sure to change our miles to kilometres ready for Europe, and fun fact, all Teslas are automatically sent to the larger vehicle carriages, so we had plenty of room.
We finally made it to Eurotunnel. We have 510 kilometres, don't ask me what that is in miles, and 88%, and I actually don't know how long we've got the other side, but we are going to have to charge at least once. But I think it's time to grab a pillow and go for a nap.
Or if you can't sleep, there's plenty of games and TV to keep you occupied. Now that we've arrived in Calais, we need to make our way to a town called Abenheim in Germany. Now this is 585 kilometres away, whilst we have 515 kilometres and 89% of range, meaning we'll definitely need to stop at least once. The Tesla Maps automatically find chargers on your route when it needs to, preconditioning the battery ready for when you arrive. And we stopped on the edge of Belgium with 30 kilometres and 4% of range. Anxiety! But because we had a clear run, the Tesla did 159 kilometres less than predicted. Time to charge up.
This is hopefully going to be our only charging stop actually in Europe, somewhere in Belgium, some fancy hotel. But there is 12 very fancy Tesla chargers. And it's charging at 250 kilowatts per hour. So this should be a quick stop. I've been asleep for most of this, so I do apologise for the very much lack of content, but It's like 4 in the morning. I am exhausted. Only another 3 hours to go.
We stopped for just 30 minutes and stretched our legs, and the 30 kilometres went up to a whopping 440 kilometres and 4% to 76, enough to get us to our destination according to Tesla Maps, with 263 kilometres left to go. We made one last stop to top up at approximately below 20%, we think. We were extremely tired, okay, give us a break.
It is our last charge before we get where we're meant to be going, just so we have as full a battery as we can whilst we're out and about throughout the week, but I am exhausted. It's about 6 a.m. here and I've slept about 2 hours.
We grabbed some breakfast and charged for 36 minutes, taking us to 81% and 467 kilometres. More than enough for the final 52 kilometres we have to go. We have finally arrived, thank God, with 384 kilometres of range left and only 31 kilometres less than Tesla Maps predicted. Blame the Autobahn. But what were the final results? So, starting with the time. Now, we set off at 4:26 p.m. and arrived at 6:43 a.m. English time, taking a total of 14 hours and 17 minutes. Ouch. And charging wise, now we stopped 3 times for a total of 1 hour and 38 minutes. For the Eurotunnel, we were waiting anyway, so it doesn't really count, making the total charging time 1 hour and 6 minutes. We really couldn't fault the Tesla. Now, the charging intervals were perfect for when we needed breaks, the supercharger network was easy to use, and the car itself was easy and comfy to drive. So when I say the Tesla Model 3 long range has been the perfect car to drive over to Germany, I'm really not kidding. The supercharging network, how fast it's been, the fact it was free, and the comfort. I have zero complaints. But if you want to find out more about the Model 3 in specifics, then there is a new video coming out soon. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this beautiful weather here in Germany. So you guys know the drill. To make my journey your journey, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!